Mr. President, the American people understand, whether they are Democrats, Republicans, or independents, that our health care system is broken, it is dysfunctional, it is failing. We spend almost twice as much per person on health care, an unsustainable $13,000 for every man, woman, and child, than any other country on earth, and yet the results of all of that spending are abysmal. While the insurance companies and the drug companies make hundreds of billions of dollars in profit, we have 85 million Americans who are uninsured or underinsured, and over 60,000 people who die every single year because they can't get to a doctor when they need to. In this country, despite our huge expenditures, we don't have enough doctors, nurses, dentists, pharmacists, or mental health specialists. And our life expectancy is far lower than most other countries, especially for working class and lower income Americans. Mr. President, in my view, and I think it's the view of most Americans, health care is a human right, not a privilege. And we need major reforms to our current system so that every man, woman, and child in this country gets the quality health care they need, regardless of their financial status. The responsibility for reforming our broken health care system rests with the administration, and it rests with many agencies of government, including HHS, CMS, the FDA, and the National Institute of Health, NIH, which plays a very important role in the development of new prescription drugs. Mr. President, while the 10 largest drug companies made over $112 billion in profits last year, and while they pay their CEOs exorbitant compensation packages, 1 out of 4 Americans cannot afford to pay for the medicine they need, and thousands of families face financial ruin as they pay outrageously high prices for the prescription drugs that keep them alive. Let's think about that for just 1 second. Millions of people in this country every year get sick. They go to the doctor, and the doctor writes out a prescription. And yet, because of the exorbitant price of prescription drugs in America, 1 out of 4 of those people cannot afford to fill that prescription. So what happens to those people? Well, they get sicker. Maybe they end up in an emergency room. Maybe they end up in a hospital. Maybe they die. How crazy is it that in the richest country in the history of the world, 25% of our people cannot afford to fill the prescriptions their doctors prescribe?
There is a new fourth stimulus check update. You may want to keep an eye on your mailbox. Many households are expected to receive another relief payment this week, and state lawmakers are pushing for additional legislation that would provide Americans with a financial boost ahead of the holiday season. This relief may be focused on energy or housing costs. So friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video for the latest breaking news in Congress. Also, every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. So friends, this year, many states nationwide are enjoying substantial budget surpluses, a result of thriving economic growth, increased tax revenues, and careful financial management. These surpluses are creating opportunities for states to consider strategic investments and plans for the future. The excess funds are paving the way for investments in critical infrastructure, improvements in healthcare and education, and also addressing long-standing financial commitments like pension funds. Discussions have also begun to include the potential for tax relief and setting up reserve funds for future economic uncertainties. Some taxpayers in Arizona can soon expect to receive some extra cash in their bank accounts, thanks to a one-time tax rebate added into the state budget earlier this year. A full-year resident who filed an Arizona tax return in 2021 and claimed at least one dependent is potentially eligible for the Arizona Families Tax Rebate Program. To be eligible, taxpayers must have also paid at least $1 of individual income tax on their 2021, 2020, or 2019 state returns. The value of the rebate will depend on how many dependents were claimed on previous tax returns. The rebate is $250 for each dependent under the age of 17 and $100 for dependents over 17. The maximum payout for the rebate is $750. The Arizona Department of Revenue plans to start issuing the rebates by direct deposit this month. But lawmakers have also begun discussing the looming government shutdown. House Republicans say their slim 221 to 212 majority will spend the coming week trying to pass full-year spending bills that have no chance of clearing the Democratic majority Senate, even as jitters about the November 17th shutdown deadline spread among their own members. The Senate, which Democrats control, 51 to 49, has also been struggling to pass bills funding the government through September 30th. The Senate, which Democrats control, 51 to 49, has also been struggling to pass bills funding the government. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries sounded a similar note. He told reporters, "Let's be clear. The only way forward is in a bipartisan way to pass a continuing resolution at the fiscal 2023 funding level." Data shows why lawmakers have such a hard time compromising. Members of Congress are more polarized than ever before. The new data shows little overlap between the voting records of Republicans and Democrats, reducing the chances of a bipartisan compromise, which is needed to move funding legislation through the Republican majority House and the Democratic-led Senate. Further complicating matters is a Republican majority, so narrow that House Speaker Mike Johnson can afford to lose no more than 4 party votes on legislation that Democrats oppose. Mike Johnson, who became Speaker last month after 3 weeks of party infighting over the job, has sent mixed signals about passing a continuing resolution that would fund the government to January 15, 2024, with the option of extending further to April if more time is needed to get full-year funding into place. Speaker Mike Johnson told Fox News that he and his advisors worked through the weekend on a stopgap measure that would allow us time to continue the appropriations process. Senior Republicans in both chambers believe a continuing resolution is unavoidable, but for now, the new speaker needs to show hardline Republicans his commitments to their demands that the House pass the full dozen of 2024 appropriation bills individually before shifting to a continuing resolution. Republican hardliners are pushing for spending cuts as a condition they would accept in a new stopgap measure. The House passed 2 of 3 Republican spending bills on their agenda last week, covering congressional operations and the environment. That brought their total to 7 of the 12 needed, while the Senate has passed 3 with bipartisan support. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dear friends, thank you very much for being part of this community. Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed week.